Hey everyone, it's me, Shauna. I'm not sure why the live sessions aren't working, so I thought I'd do this and just do like a video on my computer, so that way the content and the information is still getting out and you can still use it and jump on it and get going, right? Because this is all about pumping yourself up and how to have a great kick-ass week. Like, how can you do that, right? And so I've got a couple of tips and tricks that I hope that you can use and that will be beneficial, because a lot of people come to me and they're always like, Shauna, how do you have so much energy? How do you stay so pumped up? Like, I'm not really feeling it. Like, how can I really produce the energy in my business when I don't feel it in myself? So, the first thing that's really important is making sure that you actually believe that it's possible, right? So, can you have a really great, awesome week? Like, do you believe that? Yes. I mean, I believe that, and I believe that you can have that, but it doesn't do anybody any good if I just believe it for you. Like, you actually have to believe it, because how you feel and how you start your day is actually going to be a lot of times how the tone of the day is set, right? Like, how you wake up, when you wake up in the morning, it sets the tone for the day. So you really have to start out right away thinking that I'm going to pump myself up and this is going to be a great day. Like, you really have to believe that right from the beginning, right from the beginning. So, starting at the beginning, I want to ask what it is in your life that you're doing that doesn't give you energy. So, think about it. For me, it's waking up and jumping on my phone right away, right? Like, I love my phone and it's really great and I use it to relax, use it to connect, but does getting on my phone the moment that I wake up, does it actually give me energy? No, it doesn't. It actually makes me really stressed out. It actually makes me overwhelmed with all the alerts, all the messages, all the things that I need to get, like all the things that I need to do. So I know right then and there that if I want to find ways to incorporate more energy into my life, like more excitement, feeling really pumped up, getting on my phone is not going to do that first thing in the morning. So don't do that, right? Like, that one's for me. The other thing is, I know, okay, so if you want to know how to pump yourself up, right? How do you pump yourself up? What actually takes energy from you? Like, what actually sucks energy from your life? And for me, if I do not get dressed in the morning, if I do not pull myself together and show up for the day, I will feel like a lump all day. I'll feel totally chill. I'll feel relaxed. I will feel like not productive. Does that make sense? So, to get myself pumped up, I have to actually get dressed. I need to go inside. I actually need to get dressed and show up for the day. Okay. So that is the other trick, right? So actually make sure that you believe that it's possible and that you're showing up for your day. Show up like you are ready to kill it, ready to knock it out of the park. Okay. Um, the other thing is, let's see, I wrote a handful of things down. If you are not excited about the life that you're living and the goals that you have set for yourself, you are never going to be pumped up, right? So, like, if you are at a 9 to 5 job and you're not excited about it, you will never be pumped up. Okay. So, like, you actually have to live a life and have goals in your life that you feel excited about. And how do you set those goals, right? So, if I was to just say, it's my goal to have $1 million, that goal does not excite me because it's like unbelievable for me. Hang on 1 second. That goal is completely unbelievable for me. So I don't get excited about that goal. Sure, it would be nice, and sure, like, that's cool, and I can be slightly excited about it, but that goal does not like pump me up, right? Pump me up means, like, is it going to give me the energy I need to do to pursue the action, right? But you know what makes me excited? Making $100,000 a year for my family. Like, that is actually something that I can be excited about and get pumped up about, because the goal is still, it makes me uncomfortable, but it's not totally out of reach, right? So maybe it's not 100,000, maybe it's 50,000, maybe it's 5 new contacts that you didn't have before. So those are things that you have to think about, like, um does the goal stretch you just enough that it's still believable, right? And you'll feel it when the goal or that thing in your life is a lie. Like, you'll feel it and you'll know that thing is not quite the goal that needs to stir your insides. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. It's so hard, like, knowing that we won't have this, like, back and forth, but you can still comment in the section. The other thing is that really, one thing, when people come to me, my clients are coming to me and they need help, right? They need help because they're stuck in a point in their life that they're not quite sure if what they're doing is working. So the first thing that I always tell them is just take a step back, really take a step back and look at everything that you have done right now, right? It's so hard to get lost in the moment and think that that moment defines the entire picture of our success. That is not true, and you will never get pumped up if your vision is like, you know, like just itty bitty. It'll never pump you up. So celebrate your small wins. Big things are only going to happen like as an accumulation of all the small things. So if you can't move forward and get to the big things if you're not celebrating the small wins, right? You'll never be able to get there because you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck. So make sure to pump yourself up. Like you need the constant like affirmation every step of the way that you are doing this. And that like I had a client the other day who her sales in her business have been going up the last 3 months, but she's still not at her goal. Well, it's like you're not there yet, right? But if you take a step back, like celebrate where you've come. Like 3 months ago you had nothing. Like you created something out of nothing. And now for the last 3 months, your sales have totally increased every single month. Like that is worth celebrating about. Sorry, I think I just spit because I'm so pumped up. But like, right? Like your sales are still increasing and that's worth celebrating. And that's how you're going to stay pumped up for the long-term gains, right? So like celebrate yourself. Celebrate the work that you've done along the way, right? Don't just think that you can't. For me, it's really like, and I can really identify with this because sometimes I feel like I can't fully celebrate until I've actually reached the goal, the one thing that I'm working for. But that's not true. I'm doing more now than I ever was before. Hang on, one kid is crying. Hang on. What's wrong, baby? Hang on, I'll be right back. We're almost done. Okay, so the other thing is like breaking the pattern of what you're doing. Okay, so like for me doing a pump up session, I knew that I had to do something different than I've done before in my live videos. So most of my live videos, like I just sit down and we just like chit chat, right? For me to get pumped up about this, I had to break the pattern and do something totally new. And I'm actually standing. Like break the pattern of the things that you're doing, right? So like do something totally new. Like we're creatures of habit, and if you want to get pumped up, like it's really important to try something new. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry about that. Everybody's screaming and crying. So I'm almost done. But basically, the next thing is like breaking up the pattern in what you're doing. So if you are not feeling pumped up, if you're not excited about what you're doing, actually like break the pattern, right? Break whatever it is that you're doing. So like I said, most of the time I do my live sessions where I'm sitting down, and because I wanted to be excited and get myself pumped up for this, I knew that I had to do something I'd never done before. And I'm standing up, and it's breaking the pattern, and it's really making me very excited. And that goes into my next point, is that your body is not a mistake. Like your body has purpose, and the way that we treat our body and the way that we treat our body and the way that our body responds, like it's not a mistake. And so what you need to do, like if you're feeling down and out, like there's like stretch your arms, jump up and down, like do this, like go for a run, like go for a walk, like do a stretch, like just pump your arms and go like this, right? Do this for a minute, and I'm telling you that you are gonna be totally pumped up. Every morning, we just got a TV like for the first time in my life, like 6 months ago, and we've never had a TV before, and we still don't even have cable. Like we just use it for movies. So talking about like using your body, like put on music, like turn off the TV and just put on music, right? And I'm not talking about stuff that's going to put you to sleep. I'm talking about like something that is going to get the energy flowing, right? This is all about energy. This is all about things that will do that will pump you up. And this is what I do. I used to come home, and instead of putting on the TV, I would put on the radio. The first thing I do in the morning is I make my coffee and I put on the radio. Like that's something that I do to pump myself up, because if the TV's on, we're relaxed, we're vegging, we're gonna not like move all day, right? And that's not gonna get any work done. So know like yourself and what it is that you need to do. And if it's one of these, I totally encourage you to do that. So your body's not a mistake, and how your body responds to outside influences is incredible. Totally incredible. Um, so that makes me again want to ask you, what are you doing that doesn't excite you? What are you doing now in your life that you're not excited about, right? So we're flipping the question. When you can identify those things, like for me, it was the first thing that I do in the morning was wake up and get on my phone. Like instead of doing that, take it out. Like break the pattern. Like don't do that, right? So anything that in your life that isn't giving you energy needs to go, especially if you're trying to like gain the traction in your business, if you're trying to overcome the pain points, like pump yourself up first, right? Um, your body is not a mistake. And then a mantra. So like every day my husband, before my daughter goes to school, she has a mantra, right? Like he pumps her up and he gives her like our family. We have like this family mantra like lately, and it's like it's basically like Tony Horton's like do your best, forget the rest, right? And so that's something that he says to her every single day. And so maybe there's a mantra, maybe there's a quote, maybe there's an inspirational thing. Oh, like there, I used to use one about a year ago, and it was that there's no such things as winners and losers. There's only choosers. And so that was something that I would say to myself for almost an entire year to like pump myself up. And maybe it's not even a quote, maybe it's not even inspiration, maybe it's just a word, right? Like something that you can start using to like retrain your mind and living that out in your life, because it will come out, right? And then every time my husband does this, with my daughter, like everybody's laughing and everybody's cheering and everybody thinks it's so funny and the little kids chime in. And so, um, it really does work. It really does make a big difference on how you start the day and what you're saying to yourself and what you're feeding yourself. Um, Celebrate, right? What else? I think that was it. I think those are all the things. I hope that helps making sure that your goals and your life is actually one that you can be excited about. I think that's kind of like the big thing. The biggest thing. But there's lots of nuggets. I don't want to make this too much longer. We're at 12 minutes, but if you want a one-to-one session, they're totally free. They're non-pressure. They're basically getting you on the phone where you can brain dump what it is that you want, all the things in your life, and how I can help you pull things out so you can put them on a path so you can actually build the traction in the life that you want, so you can live a life that you're excited about so you can have greater impact, right? Both in your life and for the world. So get on those if you haven't. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear some feedback. I know this is not quite a live session, but I'd love to keep the conversation going. And yeah, I think that's it. Okay, let me know what you think. Thanks, you guys.